Hey, Ryan.
Hey,
Hi.
hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Sun's out.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's way nice, right? Don't you feel like a human being
Uh-huh. I feel alive.
and not like garbage?
Well, that's separate, I think. I don't I don't know that those two feelings are related.
Oh, they totally are, though.
Why I feel like garbage
And the sun?
and the sun being out?
Totally. Yeah. You are absolutely a photosynthesizing creature.
Yeah. Like Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I feel like that has to do a lot with feeling like garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. I the sun not being out, it does make me feel depressy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Major depressy.
Yeah.
You know what makes me feel depressy?
What?
Garbage.
Yeah. I mean, that last episode that we did was a real bummer.
Well, I figured like it would be good to maybe transition from talking about the garbage on Earth to talking about garbage in space. You know, because like it is a bummer thinking about how polluted we've made this planet, the only planet that we have, running out of space in our oceans
Yeah.
where garbage cannot be found. So why not talk about how it's gone from there?
And for listeners who haven't listened to the Your Trash episode, maybe listen to that one first.
And stop being trash.
Yeah. And then listen to this one.
Yeah, it's chronological, kind of.
Yeah. We didn't really plan for that to happen this way, huh?
No.
So the topic is space garbage.
The topic is space garbage. Down.
Oh, you don't even know.
This one's been on the list for a little while.
Has. Yeah. And I felt a lot of totally internal pressure about doing any episode about space real justice because, guys, I went to space camp. And
You were
this
like a
is-
VIP at space camp.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have family in the know about space and camp. I come from a camp family. We know about tents and stuff. You know what I mean? Can you say that? Can you still say that?
Tents?
Yeah.
I think for now you can. That could change tomorrow.
Get a
but
load
for
of
now,
this
I think
tent.
tents is still safe.
Bunch of tents
We're
out
not
here.
supposed to say TP though.
No,
No.
no, it's toilet paper.
How dare you? That was funny though.
Yeah. You know what else is funny? Space garbage individually is known as ejecta.
Ooh.
I know.
That's
you're,
hot.
you're already there. Like a piece of space garbage is called an ejecta.
Uh-huh.
And it comes from the Latin things thrown out. And the Latin word is ejectum, which is hilarious because like it's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also used in volcanology, talking about the particles that like come out of the volcano.
Volcanology is the study of volcanoes.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Volcanology, like volcano. Vulcan.
Yeah.
Volcanology is something totally different.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
What is that?
And it's something else is to do Star Trek or something.
Oh.
No, I think it has to do with like metalworking.
Oh.
Volcanology. Yeah.
And they just changed one letter?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So not to be confusing.
Well, there are lots of words like that. but they just sound very similar. But in this case, with volcanoes, when the stuff goes out the volcano,
Yeah.
then that stuff is called ejecta as well. So all that to say, like, caldera, volcanoes, eject them, space garbage. Yeah.
Are you calling me space garbage?
No, I just think it's so fascinating. They're like, it took us straight there,
Yeah.
You were meant to be on this episode.
I was meant to be in space, maybe.
That's for sure. You would make such a hot astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look good in a big,
Any uniform.
bulky white
Really.
suit.
Well, they look kind of cool now that they're Space Force uniforms.
Are they still white? Were they ever orange? Why do I remember orange?
Armageddon.
That is why. Holy
That's
shit.
why.
That's why.
That's why.
It's a great movie.
It's such a good movie. Oh my goodness. Yeah, any uniform I would say you'd look good in. But yeah, lends a whole new kind of feeling to the name Sputnik, right?
Yeah. So
This episode is educational, and we're going to talk about how.
Oh, I also want to say that this actually was an idea brought to us by a listener.
Yeah.
But we're not going to shout out that listener because you got to pay up, sucker.
Bitch. Bitch better have my money,
But you
as
know who
Rihanna
you are.
once said. Yeah, because it is your idea.
Yeah.
It's just uncredited. And to that point, super second plug for our Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon. Can you imagine where space garbage might come from, Ryan? Give me three ideas. Go.
Well, the first thing I think of is, I hope is not true, but I think it's funny, where we just get so frustrated with all of our shit that we can't throw away or get rid of on Earth that we just pack it into a rocket and then
Yep.
shoot it out into
Yeah,
space.
kind of inevitable, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I imagine like a rocket ship with a rope tied around it and then it's attached to like a ball of
Yeah.
garbage.
Like in a net?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just shot into space where this little ball of garbage trailed behind.
I
trailing
see
behind it.
them like cubed up, like in Wall-E,
Oh, yeah.
Just like cubes of garbage, like how like a baler, like a
Right. Yeah.
will like bale up garbage or cardboard and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just floating around in like a endless grid around the earth. These cubes of garbage. Yeah.
My favorite Pixar movie. It's super sad, but my favorite one.
It is sad, and that checks out. And no, I won't explain it. It just does. I want to show you something, and listener, you can find the image of this in the show notes probably. This is a computer-generated image of the general locations in orbit and low orbit of space garbage right now.
Whoa, that's current.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So for the listeners who don't want to look at the show notes, it's
God damn you.
it's it's a circle in the middle, and it just looks like a staticky mess around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were looking at the Earth on a television screen, but the reception was real bad
Totally.
from
Yeah.
your bunny ears.
And you've got like some light burn in there
Yeah.
because your television is old.
That is awful.
Isn't that crazy?
So not only are we polluting our own planet with our junk, we're polluting outside of our planet with our junk.
Yeah. So that's what's kind of sort of beautiful and sad about it to me. In the same way that the space or the garbage patch in the Pacific is really sad and beautiful, is the reason that it's there is because of the natural flows of the ocean,
Yeah.
Like the earth is still so fucking powerful that it's going to take our nasty garbage where it wants to take it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And in the same way, like, yeah, we've launched all of this stuff into space and left all this garbage behind that's now being trapped in both low Earth orbit and now being sent into orbit around everything else.
Wild.
Because that's how space works. That's how fucking space works, Ryan. Like, the gravity is pulling at all these different objects in the galaxy, in the
Yeah.
universe, and it's creating forces that, you know, like almost like weather patterns. It's just like sweeping stuff up and
Yeah.
taking it away. And, you know, like little bits of rocks will come by and then the force of that will pull stuff by. So that's how you get these, you know, these big giant shapes and then these shapes that are clouding out away from that.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful. Like it's a ballet of garbage.
Yeah, well, it looks beautiful like that, but it's also terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's from that. It's a render, yeah.
Yeah, that's a render. So that doesn't represent like the actual size necessarily of those pieces. Some are very tiny, like flecks of paint off of a ship, or like little like clouds of liquid that are just
Yeah.
kind of floating in there, like propellant and stuff. And then some of it is just like literal debris of manned and unmanned spacecraft.
Okay,
You know?
that was actually my question. Was like, what is all of it?
Yeah.
So, is that like when we watch a movie like Apollo 13,
Mm-hmm.
for example, when the spaceship detaches into
Yeah.
these different sections, there's always like these panels that sort of blow off,
Mm-hmm.
and they just kind of go out.
And then they
That's
keep
what all
going.
that is.
They keep going. Like, was that Julia Roberts in Gravity?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Sorry, Julia. I know you're different. Samantha might not know that they're different. Do you remember that?
No.
No? When she was like, these women are the same people. And she was like showing Sandra Bullock next to like Anne Hathaway, Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, no, man. But I get it.
When she gets into her conspiratorial brain,
Off she goes.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's good times. But yeah, just like fucking Sandra Bullock in Gravity, like those pieces, they call them stages of rockets. Those stages will just, and depending on where they're at in orbit, they might then, you know, fall to the earth and burn up or fall into the ocean, or more likely they'll just pop off. You know?
Yeah. It always makes me think of that scene in Anchorman. Do you remember when they go for a walk in the park and they're like eating? And they're just walking and eating, and when they're done, they just ball up their garbage and throw it on the ground. Because it takes
Yeah.
place in like the 70s or something.
I think of that Mad Men scene.
Oh, we're at the park and the
picnic.
picnic, and they just throw garbage on the floor. Yeah, that's how it feels
Yeah.
when I watch like Apollo 13,
Yeah.
where it's just like, oh, we haven't realized how bad this is yet, so we're just gonna do it.
We're just going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Off she goes.
Yeah,
The problem is I should say we the humanity, but people in NASA and other space agencies, they get that it's a problem because space debris is a huge risk to spacecraft of all kinds. Like you throw a satellite up there, it's delicate. Very, very
meaning-
fragile.
the device itself.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, putting anything in space is a super expensive endeavor, usually involves like years of planning,
Right. Unless
then-
you're Elon Musk.
in which case, like days of planning and many other people's lifetime worth of work.
And many other people's lives.
Uh-huh. Rip. Rip.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal to put something up there only to have it smashed to pieces by a rocket stage debris
Yeah.
or some, you know, other random thing that's up there. Yeah.
So do they well, I guess have they considered that, or had they considered that during the first like space missions? Like, what are we going to do with all this stuff?
You know, I think like from what I've gathered about different space agencies doing studies about the removal of debris and like how to mitigate it, and that's like it's pretty new that we're really caring about that.
So like throwing our garbage away at the park.
Yeah. Because like a big part of it too, I'm sure that they could probably use this as an excuse, is that in the beginning of space exploration, like we didn't really know what happens to stuff
Yeah.
when you put it up there. Like, how could you know? You know,
Yeah.
like it could explode immediately. It could, just zoom away or come right back to Earth. Like they're just kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
But as things got captured into orbit, like they're just there,
Yeah, right.
And then some of it starts to come down, but it's like how much would you think is up there right now?
Based on the picture I've already seen,
Uh-huh.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm gonna say the size of India.
Oh. Well, I don't know if they've got like a good volume estimate, although you probably could out of this, but it's almost 128 million pieces of debris smaller than a centimeter, or about a half inch.
Okay.
About 128 million pieces of those.
Whoa.
About 900,000-ish pieces of debris that are like up to about 10 centimeters. So, like little chunkies.
Yeah.
And about 35,000 or so pieces that are larger than 4 or 5 inches. Just estimated to be in orbit.
Anything bigger than that?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like the size of Volkswagens and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Like well, like telescopes and satellites that go dead. Like they just leave them there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they don't explode them or nothing. Yeah.
So if a satellite
Goes dead.
if it's no longer able to take a software update, they're just like, nah,
Yeah.
and they
You
leave
may-
it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Same with like all the like rovers and launchers and things like on the moon and on Mars and stuff. Like it's just they're there.
Oh man, that's also wild. So like in a reality where we colonize the moon or something,
Uh-huh.
we will already have pre-littered it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Jesus.
And there's no way not to with like how we've done things.
Yeah.
Because, like
Man.
you put, yeah.
We need a reset button for real. Just a massive reset
A
button.
lot of people say he is coming. He gets us and he's going to get us.
That's the sequel to those fucking ads.
It's once they rope you in,
Yeah.
then they're like, by the way, Armageddon's coming and he's going to get us.
Okay, the idea. Let's make that.
Yeah.
That's Broken Rack Media's new venture,
Is it?
is to make an ad campaign.
It'd be
The
so
sequel
easy.
to
It'd be
that ad
so
campaign.
easy. They make it very easy to replicate. So
Yeah.
you just do some like black and white shots of meteors falling and people screaming and just some this is the end supercut footage.
Yeah.
He gets us.
He's gonna get us.
Yeah.
So pre-litter.
Yeah.
There was another question I had, and I kind of lost it. It'll come back to me.
It will. It will. Yeah, it's kind of wild because like things that are up there right now that have people in them, like the International Space Station and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge problem. Like they're constantly having to do repairs and like mitigations and stuff with
'Cause
just
they're
shit hitting them.
Yeah, because they're just getting pelted by junk.
Bing, bing. Yeah.
Oh, that was the question. So when you let's say NASA plans another space launch, how are they making sure that their rocket doesn't hit this stuff?
So you kind of can't to some extent. You truly.
You just put like a snow plow in front of it?
Yeah. You kind of just like hope the force of your entry into space, like,
Pushes it out of the way?
pushes it out of the way. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I'm sure to some extent they can like track some of the really big stuff, like those satellites and that sort of thing. And there are like windows of time to try to like shoot it up there. But shit's going around fast,
Yeah.
like faster than you can really wrap your head around.
Right.
Like, thousands of miles per hour. So it's hard to find those windows, and that's why it really bums me out that like NASA in particular has been so sidelined, because space exploration is the bravest fucking thing. Like there's
Oh yeah.
so
totally.
much against it. Like
Yeah.
there's
Is that what you mean by sideline? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But because I so I don't want to say this thing if it's gonna lose your train of thought.
No, go ahead.
But thank you. The argument that I've heard like in the news and stuff is like, we've already done that. Why are we
Right.
continuing to pour money into it then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah, no, that's
Is that
exactly
what
my
you're talking
point.
about?
That's exactly my point.
Okay.
Is that people are like, it does cause damage that we have yet to fully understand, like creating huge clouds of space debris, to the point where there's now like an orbital debris program to try to like understand how bad we've already made it.
Sponsored by Waste Management.
Sponsored by Waste Management.
And then it's green spaceships.
Uh,
And all the astronauts' uniforms are like the Waste Management green and yellow. There's an idea.
Yeah, and they're like, we're recycling it, and then they don't. They just put it back out into space, but on the other side.
Yeah, they ship it to
the dark side of space.
where was that country that
Vietnam. Yeah.
Vietnam.
They just
ship
send
it
the space
they
debris to
send it
Vietnam.
back down to Earth to Vietnam.
They shoot it down there. Yeah. Most of it'll burn up, so it works out. That's interesting. I wonder if they would ever do that, because they'd be like, it'll burn up for the most part. So it's kind of like free combustion,
Yeah.
God, leave it to somebody. Leave it to somebody to decide that's a good idea.
It's like a natural incinerator.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever doesn't, we'll land in the ocean or Vietnam. It'll be fine.
Poor Vietnam.
For real, poor Vietnam.
Have they
beautiful
not suffered
country.
enough?
Not according to Waste Management. This is sorry, Waste Management. We know you're not pro war.
Yeah. There's a like Rambo 7
But he's a garbage man
in Vietnam.
in Vietnam.
I don't know how many Rambo movies there are. I just took a shot in the dark
I
there.
think 6 is a good estimation.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen one.
I heard that they're very different movies as they go on. Sort of like
Yeah,
the Rocky
like
movies.
the Rocky movies.
Another Sly Stallone franchise. Great. We gotta watch Rocky.
Yeah.
Seriously. Gotta
Yeah.
watch it.
You got to watch Saturday Night Fever.
No, I don't. I do not have to do that. Don't tell me what to do. But I think the first movie was quite different than the sequels. And I think, and what I've heard is a lot of the same ways as maybe Rocky.
Yeah. Like they toe dip between the drama and the genre
Yeah.
campiness of it.
Yeah, it just becomes like the crazy 80s action movies.
It's formulaic.
Yeah.
So this could really mix it up, throw some rockets in there,
Yeah.
like actual space rockets.
Yeah.
Not just
Do
shoulder
like an
mounted.
Armageddon Rambo crossover.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a hard rock version of
Right.
Don't Wanna
Michael
Miss a
Bay will
Thing.
produce it, but he won't direct it.
He won't
though.
direct it. No, he's not allowed to direct things anymore.
Yeah.
Probably enough of that, Michael. Michael, stop.
But to your earlier point about astronauts,
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I haven't really thought of that too much, but like that shit is dangerous.
It doesn't really get more dangerous, honestly. And
Yeah.
being a firefighter is hella fucking cool. I think firefighters are like some of the bravest people. It's a pretty, actually quite thankless job, the
Yeah.
amount that you show up to and do. And being an astronaut, it comes with a lot of prestige, but it's kind of a suicide mission.
Yeah.
There's really no guarantees at all. No securities there.
Yeah.
You're kind of truly leaning into science. And I think that being a true believer in science is a truly brave thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like being a firefighter and being a scientist
Yeah.
in one job, because you have to be crazy smart.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you have to be insanely brave.
Insane. and brave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, everyone involved kind of has to be insane and insanely smart because it is such a huge amount of money and resources and brain talent and like commitment to an idea. And yeah, we don't really fully understand how fucked up we're making it up there in the pursuit of that exploration. But it wouldn't be human exploration if it wasn't like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's how we've always done it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's a prediction that space debris could rise by about 50% over the next decade.
50%?
Uh-huh.
That sounds like a lot.
And quadruple in over the next 50 years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Reset.
Total reset. Yeah. What's pretty wild too is that like some of the space debris, some of the ejecta, has like ended up actually combining with other ejecta. So it's forming super ejecta.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They didn't call me that in high school.
What did they call you?
Just regular ejecta. It was weird though because they called me regular ejecta.
Not even like ejecta original flavor.
No, just regular ejecta.
Ejecta classic.
No, just regular.
Regular.
Which I thought was more insulting.
Totally.
I would have preferred original or classic.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a positive connotation to those. Regular is boring.
Sup, regular ejecta.
Yeah.
Kids can be so mean.
Especially when it's like your history teacher.
Put your hand down, regular ejecta.
Yeah.
It's enough out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's space garbage. It's one of those things that we're just gonna have to cope with as it goes. Like most of it is gonna be from continued like space exploration stuff, but there's some concerns that like there are gonna be more and more space weapon garbage.
What does that mean?
In the future? Oh, so like there's like defense equipment that's in space now.
What?
You didn't know that?
Like the Death Star?
Kind of.
No, tell me about that.
Okay.
What the hell?
So yeah, there's like satellite and anti-satellite weapon systems. That
I need more than that because what I'm picturing right now is basically like the Death Star, where it has a gun on it and it shoots out lasers.
So there are like satellites. You can imagine like satellites up there.
Yeah,
right?
I know what a satellite is.
Yeah. You know. Now imagine like a railgun attached to it. You know.
That is what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
For what? What's the purpose of this?
Shooting down other satellites.
Okay, so like the government, the U.S. government sends up one of these satellites with a railgun.
Yeah, right.
And then it shoots it next to China's satellite with
right.
a railgun. And they
explodes
shoot at each other?
Yeah. Yeah, no, this has already happened quite a lot. Yeah. The largest single space debris incident in history was like an anti-satellite missile test that they did in 2007. China did. And it created like 60,000 pieces of debris from exploding.
And that's why everybody's internet went down or something?
Yeah, exactly.
And then they scream out, fuck you, dolphin. Oh, that's Japan though, huh?
There was this one satellite that it was thought to be carrying about 1,000 pounds of toxic hydrazine propellant for like use in chemical attacks. Like they're just trying shit, you know? They're just trying it. They're just seeing what works out. So most of the satellites that they're aiming to shoot down are like spy satellites, right?
Okay, but if it's a spy satellite, isn't it like in camo or something? Or black? Or like dressed up like the rest of the satellites so it blends in?
Or there's 3 satellites in a big trench coat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neo.
Right.
Just launching around. Well, I mean, there are ways of tracking these things, like, like space radar type things. Space radar. That's not what it is, but it's space radar. But it's insanely complicated because like space is not like a 3D space. It's like a 5D space. Like it moves in ways that normal, like our planet is
Yeah.
flat.
Right.
Our flat Earth. The predictable space of our planet is much easier to track objects on.
Sure.
'Cause they can
Well, because
only
there's
move.
like an up and a down.
Correct.
In space,
Yeah.
it's infinite in any direction.
Exactly. But they have ways of like keeping track where things are generally, and yeah, that's how they find them. But they, they're getting creative, and we don't want them looking at us. So it's a pew pew, shoot them down.
What is the plan for like removing or mitigating the junk?
So
Is there a plan?
I mean, I wouldn't say that there's necessarily like a plan, like there's, like how we've tried to think about with climate change and things like that. Like there are plans in place that countries have agreed to.
Yeah.
But the different space agencies have tried to do like a couple things by like limiting the amounts of satellites that are allowed to be launched above low Earth orbit. And that's been like a really new complicated thing because you have companies like SpaceX and Virgin Galactic and all of the telecommunications companies
Yeah.
that want to have satellites,
And they just shoot them up there.
Well, they can like kind of buy their way on to things. And like there are benefits to having companies like AT&T or whatever have access to being able to provide their services to a broader,
Yeah.
because it's utility, right?
Right,
And we
yeah.
don't want to limit like the growth of a potential important technological sector. But
Do we though?
exactly. But do we though? And I think sometimes we should,
Yeah.
And so like some countries have proposed, or some agencies have proposed doing that, like limiting the amount of satellites or trying to like include different stages of the satellite so it can be like used for longer than just one purpose, and then be like it could be reprogrammed, or
Yeah.
or at the end of its life it can like have a supplementary booster program to like send it back down so that it burns up or like doesn't stay up there forever.
Yeah.
But that takes money to do those things.
They should have a satellite used car lot
Exactly.
in space with like the wacky wavy
Uh-huh.
inflatable tube
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. It's made from space sails.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, is like trying to figure out how to get like it's called upper stage passivation, which is when you can like in the later stages of the thing that's up there, whether it's a rocket or a satellite, you can get it back down. So SpaceX has been doing that, right? Where they've been testing
Yeah.
their rockets, like going up into space and then re-landing themselves.
Yeah. Didn't they just do that recently and they were successful in exploding it?
Yes.
That was the plan, right?
That was the plan, yeah. Well, the plan was to like get it to the point where it would turn, and it did turn, and then it exploded.
And then it goes, I'm tired.
I am let down. But they've had many successful tests, and that's super exciting because otherwise, like these things just,
Yeah.
they done. And
Right.
this way, that it's like the potential savings and the potential growth to exploration is huge. Being able to reuse a rocket because the amount of money that it takes to make a fucking rocket
Oh yeah. I
and to
bet.
like get that program going,
Yeah.
you have to attach so many different experiments and, like glad hand the capitalists and who want to send their little satellite or whatever up there. Like the astronauts that do crewed missions, like on the space station, or they get sent up in a crewed mission, like they have like a shit fucking ton of stuff to do.
Uh-huh.
Like all these experiments that they have to do while they're up there.
Yeah.
And like when rockets go up, it's often really similar where they just kind of like Black Friday bundle like a ton of different things that people want to do in space,
Right. Yeah.
So it's a big deal to send a rocket up, and it's like huge to get your project worked on at all. If we can reuse rockets, think of how much more we can learn,
Yeah.
That many more projects can get worked on and studied, and that many more potentially not evil companies can like get their utilities up there, and like more access for people to have technology, and like there's lots of benefits.
Yeah. I wonder though if we'll get to that point before we get to the point where we've created so much garbage that we've basically trapped ourselves.
In garbage, like
On
a
Earth.
shell.
Yeah. Like if it gets, you said it's going to quadruple in the next
Yeah.
50 years.
Yeah, that's the thought.
What if it becomes so dense that it's dangerous to even attempt it, to even attempt sending anything else up?
Well, if that were to happen, I would imagine that we just go in blasting.
Yeah, all right. That could be cool.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it's like when there's too many deer out there, and you
Sure,
gotta
yeah.
cull the herd a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyways, I went in blasting.
But doesning that then create more
Yeah, but they
tinier
littler.
pieces?
They,
Oh,
they
okay.
littler pieces. They ain't hurt nobody.
Maybe that's your next career. Go work for NASA.
Space blaster. Like a space invader.
Right. But opposite.
Yeah. Well, I'd still be invading space.
Oh, sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking it up. Yeah, so that's the big plan, is to try to be more inventive with our reuse, renew, to remove things when they're done, as opposed to just leaving them up there, like to have that be part of missions, or to fund companies that will go in and remove satellites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pay a garbage man.
I like the idea of like a pack in, pack out situation.
Yeah, a lot of people are big fans of that. But there are also some really exciting work being done on laser beam photons.
Freaking laser beams?
Pew, 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 pew. So you can go and blasting. Yeah. And that can like move junk out of the way, or make it go. Japan's Aerospace Exploration Agency, they're NASA.
What is it called? Is it called JNASA?
It's Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. It's called JAXA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because exploration. JAXA. They launched a test SpaceNet satellite to do just that, to like net it all up. Like
Really?
You're talking about. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
But it's just a test. And that was in 2014. And that was pretty successful in going up there.
Got it up there.
But they had a couple of other failures.
Was there a hole in the net?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And the European Space Agency, they're NASA. They
It's such a dumb joke, but it makes me laugh.
they have a mission scheduled this year, actually, to remove some of the super heavy debris from low Earth orbit. And so that's exciting. That's what that's for, is for removing debris. Like it's a mission especially for removing debris.
Wow.
So that's exciting, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
exciting. They're using all kinds of fun techniques such as nets, harpoons, and robot arms with clamping mechanisms, like Wally.
Cool.
Yeah. Space trash harpooning sounds like a pretty fun job.
Sounds like a cool band.
Yeah, Space Trash Harpoon.
Yeah.
We're a Space Trash Harpoon. We're here to get you out of deorbit. Yeah. So, there's like a general plan to like try to remove some shit. But there's just like not enough incentive by governments to want to put money into that, since
Yeah.
it doesn't even have the fun, like, it's space exploration. It's like,
Right.
we're sorry. Like, we can't even get people to like
We
act
need,
on
like-
climate change, you know?
Yeah, we need astronaut janitors. That's the pitch, right?
Yeah. We
And
need
nobody
you
wants to
to
do
clean
that.
that shit up.
Yeah,
Can you go take care of that?
that sucks.
Yeah. But tell you what, like, I would be a horrible astronaut because I have really bad vertigo and, all kinds of other unfit for duty reasons. But
That ass won't fit in that suit.
I'd look so hot though,
Oh, I know. If they can make a special spacesuit just for you,
That'd be pretty fun.
get
I
this
would
going
though. I would clean space. Just to wear the spacesuit.
down. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. We'll see. Eventually we will run out of room though, and it will create a giant trash shell.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like that chocolate center.
Well, I guess there's that to look forward to.
Yeah. One human race.
Cool. Thanks, kid. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can our next topic be something a little bit more uplifting? Like something about candy that I didn't know.
Yeah. I could think about
Cute
something
animal stories.
like water waste management.
Oh god.
Yeah, I got you. Sun's out. We can take a little spin on it. Yeah.
Okay. This was a really cool topic. I'm really glad this person brought it to us. But we are not shouting you out. You know who you are.
You cheap bastard. Yeah, cool. That's it. Now you know.
Cool. Thanks, kid.
Bye.
Bye.